I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on Ethereum? Because even though Ethereum has a completely different use case, it is not as scarce as Bitcoin. I personally think it is some kind of a supercomputer. If Bitcoin is digital gold, Ethereum is digital oil. So do you have any thoughts about Ethereum? Are you bullish on it? Are you bearish on it? Would you ever at any time in the future maybe consider investing into Ethereum?
I think that a simplistic way to look at the crypto industry is you have one institutional grade safe haven asset, which is Bitcoin, digital gold, and that is an appropriate thing to put an institutional treasury into for 30 years. Then you have one unicorn, which is Ethereum, like Uber, Airbnb, massively successful, exciting thing that you can't dispute the fact that there's a lot of monetary energy in Ethereum and it holds a lot of promise. Much higher risk, like Airbnb or WeWork or Uber, and a lot more questions, a lot more complexity to it. Then you have a whole set of venture capital startups. I mean, a whole set of other, cryptos that are attempting to provide functionality, and some of them are playing in the Ethereum space, right? They're tokens on Ethereum, and some are competitive to Ethereum, and some of them are swapping, are working with Ethereum. So there's a whole set of things out there. The theoretical use of a crypto, the entire approach of crypto is you're trying to create a living creature in cyberspace that transcends a company or a country, right? You're trying to release something in cyberspace that will live on its own. And you want to do that because you don't want to be crippled by a CEO or a company or a regulatory jurisdiction. You want it to be something which is of the people of the world. And Bitcoin clearly has succeeded. It's of the people of the world. There's no country, there's no company, you can't change it. It's its own thing. It's a life force of sorts. Is there a place for other crypto networks? They're almost like each crypto is like a religion, right? Like, do you worship the religion of thermodynamics and integrity and truth? That's kind of what Bitcoin is. Do you worship the religion of privacy? Well, if you worship the religion of privacy, a privacy coin that's really optimized for privacy, that's what you're trying to release. Do you worship the religion of smart contracts between anonymous smart contracts, cross-border smart contracts? If it could be done on a centralized network, then you're going to have competition from a centralized exchange like a Binance or a Coinbase or whatever. But the negative of centralized exchanges is they have regulators, right? But they also have, but it's not just the one negative, they also have CEOs. So if it can be done in a centralized way, the advantage is it's 1 billion times cheaper and faster to do it. And so there will be a Binance, there will be a Coinbase, there will be a Square, there will be a PayPal. But then what about the things that you don't want to be done that way? And maybe you want to cross jurisdictions because it's going to speed up technology innovation. To the extent that someone can create a crypto network that speeds up innovation, that is deemed as a valuable function other than store of value. It can't be store of value because Bitcoin holds that slot. Sure. It needs to be another thing, provenance, functionality, privacy, currency, one of those areas. Then it comes to life. And then you just have to ask the question, right? Like what are the struggles, right? Like in privacy, the privacy cryptos will have to transcend the law enforcement concern, right? The currency cryptos, like stable coins, they will have to transcend the concerns of central banks, right? The central bankers are, Christina Lagarde, she said, well, we're not really concerned about Bitcoin. It's very volatile. We're concerned about stable coins,
I remember.
Right? So because it's like, well, if I can print 100 trillion dollars or euros, right? That's a lot more threatening to them if it moves on non-KYC AML rails, or it's done outside of the standard regulatory banking compliance structure. I've heard people say in South America and Africa, they really want the crypto dollar. They don't want the Bitcoin, but they want the stable dollar. That's what they want. And so maybe those things form and they fill that niche, and that works well. And maybe the privacy thing comes to life. And with regard to DeFi, well, it'll come to life everywhere if it's viewed as a technical innovation that is more functional, that evolves faster than the centralized versions. But it will struggle if it is viewed as a competitor or as regulatory arbitrage defeating the regulated exchanges, right? So there's space in cyberspace to create new crypto creatures. The most successful crypto creature is Bitcoin, right? That's an example of success. And the use case, the total addressable market of Bitcoin is $300 trillion. It's the biggest total addressable market of any digital network ever created in the history of the world. Bigger than Google, bigger than Apple, bigger than Facebook, bigger than Amazon, it's bigger than the internet in a way, because it's the internet of money, to paraphrase Andreas, right? It's all about money. I think that there's some interesting appeal to smart contracts, and there's interesting appeal in these other areas of functionality, currency, provenance, etc. I think that they're all at the venture phase. They're adventures, and something will happen, and someone will figure something out good. Like if everybody in Africa is willing to fight and die for a privacy coin that emulates the dollar, it'll be successful, right? There has to be that ideology. They're like religions, right? These are like the 21st century religions. Do you believe in it and love it with all of your heart? And are you going to feed the flame? Because the altar of the Middle Ages, has become the mining rig of the 21st century. If you would run the mining rig to mine Ethereum in your home, it's your religion. If you would run Zcash, if you would run another stable coin as your mining rig, then you're worshiping that religion. And now the question is, are you going to protect that mining rig when someone comes to kick your door in and take it away from you? Because the religions that made it through the dark ages, right, had people that they were willing to go underground and protect it. So, and then on the other hand, if it's just doing what Binance does, like, why? You better find some arbitrage, some nuance. Maybe it's a regulatory arbitrage, but maybe if you can come up with some totally decentralized idea that causes people in cyberspace to be able to cooperate with each other 1,000 times faster. Like, for example, the argument against KYC AML is it slows everybody down. It takes them 3 months or 6 months in order to interact with each other instead of 6 seconds. And if I could take it to 6 seconds, then maybe I could trade with 197,000 counterparties on a Saturday afternoon. And then maybe that creates an emergent behavior like in nature. So what do I think about Ethereum? I think it's evolving. There are all these things it wants to be, right? Ethereum 1.0 is a life form. Ethereum 2.0 is a different life form. So let's be clear, right? I can't give you an opinion on Ethereum 2.0 until it comes to life. And 3 years to 5 years after it comes to life, I'll tell you what I think of it. And Ethereum 1.0, we can see what we think of that. And, it's interesting world we live in. I think you have to you just have to evaluate each of these things, and you have to be honest about what is that life form trying to do. If you wish, like we talk about path dependence, if you wish to dominate the ecosystem, you need to be a unique, beautiful creature that does something really well and better than all other creatures in the ecosystem that would compete with you for that energy. And so I think Ethereum is not going to displace and should not really compete with Bitcoin. I think it's a mistake. I think anytime people say Ethereum is money, it's a mistake, because it's like they're competing with a creature which is actually better engineered to be that. If I really want money, I don't want 100 other features. I don't want all the other features that Ethereum has. I like the fact that it's stodgy and slow and secure and reliable. Like, for example, if you're an engineer and you came to me and said, I have 187 ideas to improve Bitcoin, I would say, like, slow it down. Like, let's not, right? Let's go very carefully, very slowly, because it already is good enough to be $300 trillion. It's got the function, it's done, it's genetically completed.